Welcome, everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Airwalk. This is my All Spirit Messages show where you drop a $10 donation and then you can ask to speak to a spirit loved one, a deceased pet, your ancestors, guides, angels, anything goes. If you don't have a specific question, you can just leave it open-ended and I will deliver out to you whatever message is coming through from whatever spirit is coming through. Tonight is unlimited. I can't do that all the time, but I can tonight. So feel free to drop as many $10 donations, as many questions, or just to receive, okay, as many times as you want to. If you prefer to do this privately, you can go onto my website and click Spirit Message. You can also gift this to someone else. And I do work internationally, so you can book a reading anytime, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. Let's go ahead and get into today's show. Who do we have first? Anna Pekka says, for my maternal grandmother, Mary, M-A-R-Y, what is her practical and emotional guidance for me in finding love? She said, stop looking. And this is going to be an interesting one. She doesn't mince words. Stop looking and something about a hula hoop and stop going in circles. I feel like this is double symbology with her. So first of all, she loves you also. Okay. Giving a red rose, which can be a birthday or anniversary. It can also include a passing anniversary, just deep love around this time. Okay. But just know she's giving you a red rose and doubling down on that, you know, that I love you, but you're not playful enough. You know, the image of a hula hoop is about a couple different things. It's like you need to be playing more. You need to be more in the flow. You need to be having more fun and not with a lover and not in dating, okay? And not in this like temporary sense of I'm doing this, but I would prefer to be doing something else. No. You need to learn how to really be in the flow and be in greater movement even, okay? So this could be like dance class. This could be drumming. This could be working out. This could be walking. This could be anything, yoga. I don't care what it is, but it's like, you could literally take a hula hooping class. I mean, these were around a few years ago. What happened to that? It was a big thing in Buffalo. It was called Flow. Everyone would like get their hula hoops and go out to the park. It was called Flow. It was like a whole community of people would organize this thing. You know, the idea here is this. You're not having enough enjoyment in your life. You have not learned how to romanticize your life enough yet to really bring in someone that can provide you with the type of love that you want. You shouldn't need the love, she says. Right now, you need the love. You're needing the love, which is asking you to go be introspective and say, what in me am I not loving? How can I better love myself? Or where else can I access things that make me feel loved? So there is a lack of love here. You can't receive abundance in love when you have a lack of love. What she's talking about here is pretty deep. She's talking about law of attraction. Okay. And we can't skip around it. We can't just really, really do some healing and want love to come into our life for that to be enough. Like we have to be in alignment with it. And it's interesting because often when we love ourselves enough, we're not looking or needing or even necessarily wanting it from outsiders anymore. And it's like you're so far from that right now. She seems to believe, because you're asking for her practical advice, right? She seems to believe that through more play and fluidity, movement, having fun, romanticizing your life, that you're going to be able to draw in an actual love partner. And there's also this sense here of needing to, it's almost like stop going around and around. It's like break old patterns. You are not far enough away from old patterns, like they're still technically here, which means you may have just recently decided to cut some people off, to like cut some cords, to set some boundaries. And I'm talking recent, like days, weeks, months, which means it's still all up in your energy. You haven't even cleared that out yet, she says. So, you know, you're basically impatient. Yeah, I want to say impatient. Okay, so keep doing the healing work, because the decisions that you made that led to you having to set those boundaries, cut those people off, do those cord cuttings, it's not something you're that far away from. You're not even out of it yet. Okay, so the healing work still has to be done. So those are the practical things she's guiding you to do. She loves you very much, and she'll be helping you on that journey. Sorry about the shadowing, guys, and the lumpy hair and stuff. It's a brand new setup, so I'm going to have to figure out the lighting and everything. Let me know what you think of the lighting. Higher, lower, I don't know. It's open to interpretation. It's a science I never seem to understand. All right, let's move on to another one. CJG just wants a general message for CJG. Who is coming through for CJG? A gentleman who feels like grandfather. I want to say I'm on mom's side of the family. Pretty tall, pushing 6'1". Pretty built, like especially up through the chest, the biceps. Sometimes had scruff, sometimes was pretty clean shaven, had a nice jawline on him, something about square chin. Then he's pointing at this other guy. So I wonder if this other guy with him had a square chin, or like sort of chiseled. What's that called? In the 80s, we called it if you had an ass in your chin, but it's like this cute dimple. It's like this line. Not many people have it. I forget. There's a name for it. Anyways, I see another guy coming in here with him, also paternal energy, very protective, but he's got more of this, I want to say, like dimple here and square chin. Both of them coming in here talking about you're finished. It's almost like you're finished with a cycle. You're finished with drama. You're finished with something you had been working on. It is now completed. Okay, completed. She completed it. And they're really proud of you because grandpa, mom's side especially, he wanted to do some of the things that you're doing. If you're doing more with like networking, business, teaching, leading, speaking, communicating, selling things, and bringing in art. The other guy is saying you brought in more art into your life. This could be beauty. This could be music. This could be literal art. This could be you being more artistic, more in an immersion of sort of understanding that everything that we feel, everything that we need to heal, everything that we need to say can be done through art. So this is like creating art. This could also be just receiving art, putting art all around you. You know, a lot of people comment on this picture up here. And, you know, this was one of the few pieces in this property that I went and I bought myself because, I mean, it inspired me when I saw it. And it's something I decided to work underneath to see if other people were sort of feeling that vibe, you know, and it's worked that way for years. So like, it's for me, but it's also for others who witness it. So it's almost like this example of how you're becoming art, you're investing more. You have become something that people can look at, admire, see as beautiful. You get the creative healing juices flowing. But this really has to do with your intellect, I want to say, more than anything else in regards to this completed cycle. And so you've gotten educated, and you may have done some significant research in the last like year and a half. Maybe you did go for like some type of education, certification training, but I just want to say research psychically in general. It feels like they were with you on that journey, and grandpa mom's side is mentioning a domino effect. So it's almost like from all this research, you've completed this old cycle and now you're putting everything into practice. He just pushes that first domino down, and it's like all the other dominoes, okay, are going down, and you have a lot to celebrate. So it's like pop the champagne, they're saying. Okay, pop the champagne. And you may be in a period where you're like, well, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, or I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be overly optimistic. If we can't be overly optimistic when we have worked really hard and we have a karmic payout coming, when can we? It's like celebrate early. I don't care. Talk about it, share it, but it is time to start celebrating because you have done the hard work. You also got rid of a lot of things that were really bad for you, and this is the other guy talking about this one with the dimple in his chin. It's like you got rid of some things, some people and situations that were really hard for you to get rid of. Like I don't feel like this came very naturally to you. So in getting rid of these toxic cycles where you were wasting your energy, you were allowing yourself to be drained, you were investing in the wrong people and scenarios, it's almost like you had to fight your own self to get out. Forget them. You had to fight your own self to get out. Because even if you knew you needed to get out, it was like this angel on one shoulder and this devil on the other. And it was like, I can't stop. I do wonder if you were in somewhat of an addictive, if you in the past have had an addictive type personality, where it's like almost just ingrained in you, to invest in things that you shouldn't be, because they got you high. It was like a dopamine hit. It was instant gratification, whatever. Okay. But it's like, you left it behind. You are the master of your domain, they say. Okay. And that's going to show out in the world. Power positions, power plays. Awesome. Thank you. CJG said, the picture above you is beautiful. Isn't it? It's funny he mentioned that because, I kind of forgot it was even here, but it is, isn't it? Yeah, I remember the day I picked that out. Then it was weird. It was like I went onto YouTube and there was a guy, of course, the YouTube knows everything. They're spying on everything. The algorithm knows. There was a guy who had this in his video, some doctor. And I was like, really? So, I think a bunch of us have the same idea. All right, let's move on to another one. What else do we have coming in? Who's next? Also, just a reminder before I get into this next one, you guys are all welcome here. Thank you so much for being here. Please do drop a comment of any kind. It helps me in the algorithm, but I would love to hear where you're tuning in from. Also, please give this video a thumbs up and share and subscribe. We're going to move on to Maraid. Maraid says, hi, Ivy. I recently started talking to Danny again after not speaking for a few months. Is there anything Spirit wants me to know going forward in my relationship with him? Thank you. I heard. God. Well, I heard player and then I heard taker. So the thing that irritates me with this, and this is coming from your relationship guide and your joy guide in particular, who watches over your mental and emotional well-being. Okay. The thing about Danny is that he isn't aware. He isn't as self-aware, certainly as he should be at his age, whatever. He's a little stunted in his development by design. He's a bit lazy. So he doesn't want to learn himself. He doesn't want to know more. He doesn't want to try harder. He doesn't want to do more unless it's for him. And everything for him is like, get more, get more, get more, get more. How can I get more? It's never do more. It's never work harder. It's never see this thing through. It's never stick with it. It's always get more, extract. This is not someone who is in a high ranking position in regards to character development, integrity, balance and stability. You would see a pattern though, for sure. Okay. Probably one of the reasons you guys stopped talking, in part, you would have seen a pattern with him where he often shows that level of inconsistency and instability, and in all areas of his life. And what he does, instead of focusing on growth and development, how can I give more to myself? How can I give more to others? How can I be and do more? He, in that mentality of extraction, sees you and every other woman as somebody they can use as a resource, as a tool to extract from. And he's pretty guaranteed he's going to get a lot back, because women have been trained up from birth to give and men have been trained up from birth to extract. So we've got some problems here. I don't think it's an issue. I don't think it's a problem unless you let it be. Okay. If you want to look at him and you want to be like, yeah, he's flawed, but we have great conversation. We laugh a lot. It's easy. There's good flow. There's good chemistry. There's even sometimes when he's doing okay, sexual chemistry. There's just an awful lot of banter. There's an awful lot of joking. There's an awful lot of similar perception in the way you guys see the world, So if you want to look at it that way and be like, whatever, I'm going to roll the good in with the bad. I'm not going to take him too seriously, but I'm going to have a good time. Then just keep him where he belongs. And that's the trick to working with any human being, right? Is just like, you can enjoy everyone, but know where they belong. Okay. That's what that looks like. He's also a little bit skilled. I mean, even though I said he's not self-aware, he is a little bit skilled. Spirit's pulling me back on that message a little bit. He is a little bit skilled in manipulation. Is he fully aware of it? Not fully, but sometimes. So making it seem like I'm stable, making it seem like I'm interested in something more, making it seem like I'm also here for you, or like I'm capable of thinking in terms of we, but being aware that that's what you should say doesn't mean that's what you're going to do. And it is manipulation if you're not planning on doing it. Shouldn't have come out of your mouth. So we'll see. Very interesting. All right. Thank you, Maraid. We're going to move on to another one. This is coming in from Manny. Manny says, hi, Ivy. When I ask a question to my guides in meditation, sometimes I get a steady flow of thoughts back, like I'm talking to myself. Other times, not so much. I'm receiving from them. Is it because that's not much to hear from them? Could be. Let me see what's going on here with this. So often when we sit with our guides, I just did the Meet Your Guides class. It's brand new. It's fresh. It's up on the website. Okay. Check it out. But I talk in that class about how your guides don't have ego. So they want you to think that everything they say to you came from them. It's a trick that they use because your guides are here to make you feel more confident, right? They want you to be able to trust your own intuition. They want you to lean on your higher mind more than them. And so in the same way that the universe wants to break you of the habit of looking out to the world and people and your circumstances, the universe wants to get you instead to be more introspective and rely on yourself as the resource. Your guides are using that same system. So they use certain tricks like ringing your right ear, which is supposed to be your psychic ear. Okay, when we talk about tinnitus, we talk about the grandmothers always used to say left for love, meaning mediumship when the left ear rings. And when we have tinnitus in the right ear, it's the grandmothers used to say spite. It's not really spite, could be a warning, but it's really your psychic ability kicking in. And so your guides come in and they ring the right ear and then they back off after putting thoughts in your head. So when you say it's like you're thinking, that's another trick that they use. So they alert you to something and then they're like, oh, you just thought of it yourself. Good for you. Keep going. So it's kind of like your parents. Your parents want you, if you're good parents, they want you to gain confidence and be like, look at you go, look at you go. But the whole time they were holding on to the back of the bike, So it's sitting in something like a state of meditation, a circumstance where you've become determined to connect with them and you want to hear directly from them, but they want you to believe that the thoughts, the breakthroughs, the insights, the healing, the messages that you're receiving, they want you to believe that you came up with it on your own. And it's not entirely untrue because your higher mind is certainly in alignment with whatever they're recommending. So it's not completely untrue. What they're going to do is straight up clairaudience. Now, clairaudience is the ability to hear a spirit in your head as though it is your own thought. I talk about this all the time, like a tick. Okay. And so you thought you were going to have this sort of powwow with them, and instead it was like, what? I'm just sitting here thinking. Trust me, they're there. Trust me, they're manipulating that, but they're trying to make you think you thought of it on yourself. Okay. On your own. So what you did in your own way, you did. Your higher mind did. It's in agreement. Okay. Now, other times, yes, I do feel like you're showing up and they just don't have anything to say. I talk about this with my psychic mediumship students all the time. They'll come into class like typically around like week 8, and they'll be like, God, I'm sitting with my guides every day, and lately I feel like they're not even saying anything. I'm like, it's too much. What is there to say? Sometimes life is just like, eat your oatmeal. Don't forget to drink your water. Make sure you do a 1-hour workout, don't text that person back. It's like, it's not that complex. Like life, humans like to think that we are on some grandiose adventure, but it's pretty basic stuff. Okay. We got 6 categories of things going on in life. We're all pretty much the same. It's not that big a deal. So often I will go in with my guides because I do it every day in the morning, and they're just like, there's nothing, so that's good. No mail. What's that saying about the mailbox? No mail is better than bills or something. All right. Let's move on to another one. Thank you, Manny. Next one up is Anna Pekka. Yes, you guys, you can ask multiples tonight. I can't always do it, but I can tonight. Okay. So it's unlimited tonight. So Anna Pekka says, any messages from my cousin Jeff? Okay. Messages from Jeff for Anna Pekka. Okay, Jeff. When he comes in here, he's really playful. He's very silly. He's kicking a soccer ball over to you, which is symbolic of play with me, keep talking to me. I'm going to be playing with you more. So I would be watching for him for the next 2 to 3 weeks. You also seem to have something big going on between the 2nd and the 3rd week. So it's like something of privilege. It's a privilege. It's like, it's a privilege to be here. I have you accepting something like an award, some type of recognition. Wow. This is awesome. So just know he's celebrating that with you. Okay. You'll be hearing more from him, but he's also talking about, play with me. Kicking a soccer ball, over to you is symbolic of, or any kind of ball. It's a symbol of play. Spend more time interacting with us, spend more time interacting with me. What more, can we do in this communication so that you feel like you're hearing from me more clearly? He's asking you that. Okay. And so answer him. Maybe you say something like, start dropping me feathers, or come visit me in a dream, or mess with the lights. You know what I'm saying? Like come up with something. These are just suggestions. I'm suggesting it because I don't know that he's good at everything. So he's asking this question, and it's like, he's a little limited on what he can do. So I don't want it to bomb, but he said he's resourceful. Now he is funny because when he first came in here, I felt a little bit of neurospicy energy. You can't miss it. I don't know if maybe he was on the spectrum, but he's hilarious in the way that he is blunt. He is bold. He is direct. It is observational humor. I feel like you guys really got each other, and it was very supportive. I thought he was older than you, but he feels kind of immature. Like maybe he is younger than you in some ways, where he just has a youthful energy. Take It Out resonates, but I feel like you guys had a nice balance of kind of keeping an eye, okay, also on each other. It makes me feel like his passing, it rattled everyone, he's giving a white rose. Now this can be a passing anniversary right around this time, but it does feel like there were some people who did not get a proper goodbye, or there's a lack of closure surrounding his passing for sure. So please give that out to everyone. Also something about his mom as well. He's with mom. All right. Thank you, Anna. We're going to move on to another one. Next one up is Manuel. Manuel says, oh, this is feedback. Okay, so this is Manny. Thank you, Ivy. That was very helpful on what you mentioned about my guides and my higher mind. Yeah, you're very welcome. It's interesting, isn't it? The way that they communicate. It's always a hidden agenda with spirit. There really is. Okay, so Tanya is next. Tanya Rivera says just a general message. Who is coming through for Tanya? What do you want to say for Tanya? Your joy guide, watching over your spiritual development, your mental and emotional well-being. Ringing a bell. I'm ringing a bell. If your tinnitus has been increasing, if you've been having more insight, more psychic hits, more downloads, if you have been going through Kundalini, right, a detox, if you are getting ready for something. I'm seeing like Reiki. I don't know if you were going to get a Reiki session. You're coming to, oh, you have Reiki class. You have Reiki energy work, any type of energy work. It feels like giving and receiving, giving and receiving. I can't tell what side of the table you're on here. So something's going on with that. I wonder if this has to do with your attunement. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, you are about to level up and it already started. Okay. It already is here where you are getting ready to give out more of your knowledge, your wisdom, your healing abilities, your messaging. You're going to be channeling more. There's just more. Okay. Coming out of you, channeling through you. And there's a higher demand for it. So it's like as the demand rises, which you're about to see, I mean, your joy guide is saying the last 3 days. So sometimes you are already seeing it. Maybe you are. But it can feel almost like I'm going through these changes the last 3 days. I know something is coming. And where is it going to come from? You know it's coming from the need of the world, the people and situations around you. All right. So it's almost like you're getting ready to do this. I think it's really exciting. I do feel like there's this sort of fire on the mountain. There is this feeling here of you going on to the top of the mountain and you may want to be alone for the next 2 weeks. And this is highly advisable. Your joy guide says highly advisable. I wonder if your joy guide was a human at one point. Then your relationship guide steps in here and is in agreement with this. It's really important for a while. That guide is saying for the next 3 weeks, but 3 weeks out from now in particular, to be a little sheltered, to be a little unavailable, to be detached, to not be at everyone's beck and call, to know that that's a week where you're going to need personal space, division in order to receive guidance from spirit, direction about where you're supposed to go next, doing a little detox, doing some release healing work, getting everything into perspective, and then your work guide steps in so that you can launch it, directions forward. Okay. So there's an awful lot going on with you here, developmentally, energetically, literally, publicly. I mean, it's kind of, you're growing up. It's cute. It's like you're growing up and out of, you know, where you thought you were or what you thought you were already doing. It's almost like it hasn't even started yet. Like now we move, now we go. Okay. So this is pretty cool. So enjoy, follow the rules. Okay. So it's, you're ready for it. Okay. You have what you need to actually do it. Thank you so much, Tanya. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have coming up next? This is for Mark, aka Nature Calls You. Do you have any information from Spirit or my guides on recent and upcoming health testing? Health, medical intuitive for Mark? I don't want to sugarcoat, but it does look like blood levels may be a little bit off. And so if you were to get some testing, also on joints, knees, what's going on in the bones. So it's about the bones, but it's also about bone marrow. Okay. And those areas, what exactly is happening? with that, and how can we get it? It's almost like, how can we get it some blood levels up to where we want it and some down? So maybe just balance. And how can we build up around the joints? Okay, there's some talk here also of the ankles, right side in particular. Just be careful, and I can't prescribe a diagnosis, of course, but be careful how you're stepping, how you're walking. Are you really supporting your feet? Are you really supporting your ankles? And then there's talk of the organs, the filtration systems. I think that what's really going on with you is, for the most part, you're getting a clean bill of health, but there's talk of like, we want to keep an eye on this, or I want to watch this, or I want to recommend another test, or, you know, it seems like the male doctor is saying, because it seems like, I don't know, maybe you're talking to 3 different people here. It's like 2 males, 1 female, 1 squirrely guy. He's pretty bald. He's like smaller. He's a little nutty. He's like a mad genius. He's like a mad scientist. You know, he's like, I wish I could have gone to him first, but I can't get at him first. Like, it has to go through a series of people. He has all the answers to everything. Why? Because he actually enjoys being a doctor. He enjoys the medical field. He enjoys science. He's always learning. He's always going to lectures. He's always researching shit. He's always looking at like new stuff that's coming out, and like, what's going on in China with this, and what's going on in Japan with this, and who in Australia was researching this. Like, he's always in it. Like, it's his passion. I feel good about the way this is all coming together ultimately for you, like getting answers to anything, but mostly I feel like you're going to get that clean bill of health, but we are watching some levels. Okay. I hope that was helpful. I don't have medical training, and this, of course, is not medical advice, but yes, it looks good. And your protector guide is in on this, okay, as is your joy guide, who watches over your mental and emotional well-being. So this isn't, you know, something to be stressing and worrying about, because sometimes you do need to get your cortisol levels down. So that's the last thing to do. Like, you overthink things. You worry about other people too. It's like, how do I want to say this? You're a level 4 empath, okay? Forget the medical stuff. Like, I have a class up on the website called Empathic Awareness. I bring this into universities. I train educators. I take this into public schools. I train doctors and therapists, okay? So this is something you need to master, is not absorbing other people's stuff, because you're surrounded, atmospheres, objects, other people. You're surrounded by stress, and you take it in, okay? And it hits you hard. That would fix 50% of the issue. All right, let's go ahead and move on to another one. Thank you, Mark. Who's next? So Tanya, this is feedback. Tanya says, thank you so much, Ivy. I have been feeling the need to spend some time alone. I appreciate you. Okay, good. Yeah, and that's a good, I feel like Tanya may have our collective message for the night, because when we feel like we need to pull away and spend time alone, we tend to push through it and be like, well, I can't. Well, you better make time to do that, you know, 100%. Sometimes it's the only way we can recoup. Edgar Velardes. Edgar is up next. Edgar says, what messages does Spirit have for me regarding the next 3 months? The next 3 months for Edgar. Sorry if this couch is super squeaky. Seems like you could be talking to a female who, I'm trying to figure out what she's trying to get out of you. You know, sometimes people don't know what they want, and they want to feel a certain way. So it's like, I don't really know what I want, but I know how I want to feel. And she may be looking for like a dopamine hit, an ego stroke, a boost to her energy. She may be doing it in a sort of fun and flirty way with you sometimes, but she may also be doing it in a somewhat like low-key manipulative way, where it's like, oh, well, I'm just down today, or it's like, this is what I'm thinking, or this is what I'm feeling, or this is something I'm going through personally. And, you know, It's almost like she wants a connection with you. It's like she wants you to connect with her in a supportive way where you make her feel as though she has that intimate level of exchange with you. Intimacy is, in my opinion, rarely, if ever, about sex, because anybody can have a good time with that. But like, it's actually about sharing information and not feeling guarded. You know, when we can share with someone and we're not processing everything ahead of time, we're not practicing in advance, we're unfiltered. That's a new level of intimacy. And it gets addictive when you have that with someone and then you're dealing with all the other humans you don't have it with. You can become almost attached, and that's what she's doing with you. She's clearly attached. I mean, I don't know what else to, I don't want to go off on a tangent with it, but basically that's what it looks like in a nutshell. Okay. So she's attached. She wants to feel that attachment. She wants to make sure you're giving her more energy in that attachment or to that attachment, yet she's not really fully able to participate in it. It's almost like it suggests something more. It suggests something romantic. It suggests something more sexual, or with, how do I want to say this? Taking the chemistry to another level. Like, what can we do with this chemistry? Because the synergy is there. The synchronicity is always there. The universe is clearly supporting the relationship. You guys support each other, but it's like when you have chemistry like that and you can't play with it, you're going to get it. You're going to want to go off into these sort of uncharted territories. It's natural to want to do that. But if she isn't allowed to do that for whatever reason, let's say third party, you know, could be she's with someone else in this situation. It could also be that, because I feel like this may be happening with someone at work, it's work is the third party. Like, we can't really go there. We can't really explore. So what are you going to do about it? I have you can do what you want. You have free will. You can do what you want. But what I see you doing is being incredibly stoic. It's almost like I'm feeding it energetically. It's like I am here for it. I'm not running away. I'm standing here. I'm engaging with it, but I'm not saying very much at all. Which she may be even hotter for, okay? Because it's a little cat and mouse. It's getting a little hot in here, you know. It's getting a little steamy. I think you've got some situation going on here where I'm just debating on how long that's going to last, whether or not you're going to have to say something. I don't think you really have to say anything. I wouldn't do anything with it necessarily. I mean, I think you should be careful. I think you want to, and this is what your guides are talking about here, is just sort of watch your karma on that. Watch your karma. Okay. We are ethical. We are moral. We have a moral compass, and we're going to follow it come hell or high water. I don't care what the temptation is. And don't digress. If this was someone you had problems with in the past where you could become sort of equally obsessive with them, be careful you don't get sucked back in, because that's what it is. She feels you pulling away. She's sucking you back in. Yeah. Be careful. I mean, it's all fun until it's not, you know. So, yeah. Money coming into the third month. So, okay. Enjoy. Probably the second to the third week of the third month. All right. Thank you, Edgar. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have coming in next? Manny says, can I receive a message from Dave McGinn, who passed on some years ago? Thank you. Dave McGinn. When he comes in here, he feels like a friend. So Take It Out resonates, but he makes me feel like you guys are like brothers, like brotherly energy, friend energy. And he makes me feel like he's choking. So he may not have had a proper goodbye. Now, he may have also smoked or had a cancerous condition, because a lot of stuff is coming up about the lungs here. But I feel like what he wants you to know is that he does keep an eye on you. And he said, like, he may have been a friend to everyone, but a friend to none. You guys are a little bit similar in this, where it's very possible that you have a way of being like friendly with everyone, and I'd give the shirt off my back, and I have a lot of acquaintances, and I have a lot of people around who maybe even think that you're friends, and maybe you are. I mean, sure. But it's like, he says, like, he wouldn't share with everyone, but it's like you guys shared. Okay. There's a big difference between being friendly with people and having a friend. And he said that you're everyone's friend. Okay. But it's like the two of you were able to be safe with each other, sharing intellectually, but more sharing about like life experiences, being vulnerable. Being able to express my feelings. I was able to express my feelings when I was with you. I feel like you took genuine concern with him too. Like you would ask him, how are you doing? Or it's like, how's, whether, I don't know, he asked you or you asked him, it's like, how's your wife? She's going through some things, da, 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 da. I keep seeing that part of the movie, and Tom Hanks, it was Castaway, where they get on the plane. He keeps showing me where they get on the plane. If you haven't watched it, watch it. But, it's like he gets on the plane and that was right before his plane crash. And he was like, how's your wife? I didn't know. And they have a moment where they're sharing. And he says, like, if there's anything I can do to help you, I'm going to reach out and get these other people involved. It was like you guys had this nice supportive, sort of quality, and he just wants you to know that he appreciates you. Okay. And I think that you didn't plan on saying goodbye. I just find it interesting because that reference to that part in the movie, if you're not familiar with the movie, again, go back and watch it. But that's when the plane crashed. That's not to say you're going to have a plane crash. Okay. Nothing. But after the plane crashed, he thought about that friend. I think that friend's body like washed on shore, and he had his pictures and stuff, and so he was like, he thought about that friend and how he could have been there more, and how he didn't get a proper goodbye with him. So again, that closed throat chakra, this lack of closure, I don't think it was just you. I wonder if anybody really had a proper goodbye with him. Something is going on about that. But anyways, he gives a white rose with that and is pulling off the thorns, which can mean like, this is our closure. This is our proper goodbye. This is us building the bond, rebuilding the bond. Okay. And he has a lot of love for you. He just wants you to know. Okay. Love you, brother. Love you, brother. Clinking beers too. It's sort of like, sit down and have beer with me, sit down and have beer with me. But it's in a glass bottle. So, and maybe, is that Guinness? I'm not sure, but it's like, sit down and have beer with me. So I think you're going to be hearing more from him. Sort of just like when you sit down, you have beer, you have a tea, you have a cup of coffee, you're just kind of relaxing. I don't know if you're into kombucha or some weird stuff, but it's like, be more deliberate about sitting down and having a drink with him from time to time. A lot of love to you. Also, Red Rose, which is a birthday or anniversary right around this time. This can also be a passing anniversary or just deep love. Take it out, resonates. Thank you so much, Manny. We're going to move on to another one. He also said, don't bite off more than you can chew. You're taking on too much. Don't take on too much. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Or life starts being a drag and everything stops being enjoyable, he said. Anna Pekka said, this is for my friend Taylor. Okay, so I'm actually doing a reading for Taylor. Any messages coming through from her mom, Joni? Joni for Taylor. She is a very sort of sophisticated lady. She has a way of being very, I want to say kind of reserved with her body language. And talkative. I see her using her hands to talk, but it's like I was not at all reserved in my speech, which is an interesting combination here because it makes her pretty entertaining. It's like, I wonder what she's going to say, this is Joni for Taylor. Okay. So, when she comes in here, she is also giving a red rose. So is the last guy, which is a birthday or anniversary right around this time. This can also be a passing anniversary or just a deep love. And she is mentioning dad. So that may also need to go out to him. Take it out resonates. But she said that for a while, you closed the curtains on your life and you were feeling very much like, she's talking about a 4-year process, or maybe it's like the curtains are closed on my life and it's like, I don't want to look out there. I don't want to dream. I don't want to make plans. Maybe you lost your ambition. Maybe you felt like, I don't want anything anymore. I wouldn't even know what to ask for. It's almost like I don't care. Whatever. Getting through the days, just getting through the days. The days are adding up. And now it's like you're coming out and you're celebrating, you're dancing, you're more vibrant, you're connecting, you're looking in the mirror and you're liking what you see. You're taking better care, maybe also of like your teeth, this can also be like grinding of the teeth, like the jaw, TMJ. I can't prescribe a diagnosis, but maybe like you're taking better care of your stress levels. You're handling yourself better. And so you are liking more of what you see, because now the outside is sort of expressing, the inner work. And there's a lot for you to be celebrating going forward. She's also talking about what feels like some type of graduation or ceremony. This could be you getting a title expansion. This could be you just like leveling up. Take it how it resonates. But I feel like there's a lot to celebrate in regards to your your work, the way you're seen, your visibility, and it's almost like your expertise level. She does make me feel like there was a clinging. I don't know if she was sick for 2 years or if it's almost like 2 years I was here. Take it out resonates. But she said there was almost a clinging to her energy. So it's like you guys may have known that she could go or that she was going to go. And she wants you to know, first of all, that she's in a good place. Second, you're in a good place. She's also mentioning rainbows with you. Now, I think she's using dragonflies. She said dragons. I said dragonflies. She said dragons. So watch for dragons. But dragonflies and butterflies, she's using to let you know that she's around. But she's showing you the rainbow. Now, she could also be using prisms or rainbows. But the rainbow is a symbol of pot of gold at the end of the rainbow after the storm, hopes and dreams coming true for you. This is a promise if you went through a really difficult time that you're not going to go through it again. Okay, so you'll never have to experience something like that again. I do have to fix my puzzle here on TikTok. And she's talking about you leaving an old way of life behind and getting into a brand new way of life. Okay, so like everything is sort of coming up roses, she said. Everything is blooming, and everything you planted, all the labor, again, that like you've been putting in, is really about to pay off. Okay, so she's loving this for you. Something also about a brother. I can't tell if this is your brother or if this is just a male in the family. Take it out resonates, but give out love also there. Okay, needing it. This person really needs it. Feeling pretty down. Giving a white rose for healing there. Okay. Something about your birthday or something coming up on the calendar for you. Celebration coming up for you as well. She doesn't miss a beat. She's always there. Always there. Butterflies in jars. Can't keep a butterfly in a jar. She said, why aren't you flying away? I think you may need to, and I'll wrap it up with this because I feel like she has the gift of gab. Why are you in the jar? It's almost like maybe somebody put you in a jar. Maybe somebody let you down. Maybe life has disappointed you and you feel like you're a butterfly in a jar, but like there's no top on the jar. There's no reason you can't leave. Okay. So make sure you're kind of coming out. If you feel like you've been in a bit of a rut, you're coming out of a cycle. Okay. Fly away, use those wings. It's freedom. It's prosperity. All right. Ton of love to you. We are going to move on to another one. This one is for Maraid. Maraid says, thanks, Ivy. I felt like I was right there with him as you spoke, like in reconnecting again with a beer, just like how it was back then. Oh, this is from Manny. Okay, this is feedback from Manny, not Mairead. So Manny said, oh yeah, okay. When you spoke, like reconnecting again with him, having a beer. I love that. Beautiful. And that's a great tool that we can use in mediumship to reconnect with spirit. It's like psychometry. You know, you use an object, a picture, something from their memorial, or something like a beer, and you can reconnect through that. It's so easy. Beautiful. Thank you, Manny. Shauna Dempsey says, any messages from my guides? Okay, Shauna from the guides. Your money, it's almost like, what are you doing with this money? I have your work and money guide looking at you and quite literally asking that question, which tells me that they can't answer it for you. They can't make that decision. They can't control this. It's up to you. So what do we want to do with this money? Now, I don't think we're just talking about cash. I think we are also talking about how you want to use your skill set, your resources, what in you is untapped. How do you want to progress forward with it? So there is this great sense here of being able to, sorry guys, I'm fasting. My stomach is so loud. Do something more, but it's almost like, it's like people are watching you. It's like they're waiting on you. It's like they're waiting for you to really step up and say, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. You know, this is what I want to be doing more on the daily. This is what I want my day to feel like. This is what I want my day-to-day lifestyle to be. You know, it's less of an attitude of like, well, this is my job, or this is what I have to do, or this is what's expected of me, or like, this is how the system works, or like, this is as far as this can go. And it's like, no, it isn't. So if this is a period of opportunity for you to design, you need to design. I do wonder if you've been kept in a cage for so long, you forgot how to be creative. You forgot how to dictate. You forgot how to be the artist. It's a blank canvas, how to paint. Do I know how to do this anymore? And you never lose it. It's like riding a bike. Just get back up there. But I do think you're not asking enough questions. You're sitting by in a pacifist manner saying, I will take what comes to me. I hope something comes to me. What's next? What's coming in next? What's around the bend? What's the next level up that's going to be offered to me? And it's like, why don't you create it? Because you can have it. Okay. So what in you is untapped? And what in you, skill sets in particular, can you take to the next level or really get out there into the world? Like launch. Okay. Because there is a demand for you. So we'll see. And also with that money. Okay, what are you planning on doing with it? I mean, I feel like that's how do we want to invest it? You know, that's kind of what that feels like to me. How do we want to take all of these resources and invest them in something bigger, something greater? Thank you. Thank you. We're going to move on to Nature Calls You. Nature Calls You, aka Mark, says, you described my primary doctor exactly. The appearance, the knowledge, etc. I think it will all work out okay too. Thank you. Definitely need to be better at not absorbing others' stress too. Yes, for sure. So many people start using the tools in my empathic awareness class and a slew of random problems they didn't know were associated with excessive energy absorption just disappear. Okay, so something we need to be very mindful of if we are empathic, all of us, diligently, every day, all day, honestly. All right, we're going to move on to another one. Thank you, Mark. These are annoying me. All right, let's move on to Mindy. Mindy, love and beloved, says, my mother-in-law of 32 years, Leona, died 2 years ago at age 90. She is the dear mom of Mark. Okay, so Mark and Mindy, you guys are so freaking cute. You can't make that up. Mark and Mindy lost Leona 2 years ago, or 32 years ago. Oh, 32. where did I get to? Oh yeah, 2 years ago. Okay, so she was 90 years old. Holy cow. Are there any messages that she may have for me today? Missing her wisdom. Okay. So for Mindy Leona, she's cute as a button. I don't know, she's kind of big chested, but I see her in these sort of buttoned down, like a pink or like a pastel, like a button down, little sweater. And then I see her in more casual, looks like sweatshirts maybe later. So maybe as she got older, she got a little more casual about things. Looks like cats or butterflies on here. Very, very sweet, very cute. She comes in with a sort of soft-spoken nature about her, and it's like, oh yeah, I was here, and she just said to me, like, you knew you weren't going to have to call me. I said I did. I knew I wasn't going to have to call you forward. She's just been sort of sitting here, just waiting her turn, waiting for her time. She said she's been watching over you quite a lot. I don't know if you've been slacking on the dusting in the house, or maybe that's not your job, or you can delegate it out, or I'm not saying it's your job to dust, but something about the dust. And then there's something about what looks like collectibles in a china cabinet. I don't know if it's glass or if these are just like where her collectibles are, because I see some on like a tabletop as well. So it could be some are on sort of a table, some of her things, and some are in something that looks like taller, kind of like a china cabinet idea, where you keep beautiful things in. And something about her jewelry too. So I wonder who got her rings. So give out love, okay, whoever got her rings. But she says she's been keeping an eye on you the last 2 days because you've been feeling sort of excited, like a new beginning, and like some healing is kicked in with you. And you're like, I'm at the end of something, like I'm at the end of a journey. She said, you also said, I'm at the end of my rope, which is interesting because you seem a little bipolar in your moods here the last few days. It's like, I'm at the end of my rope. And then it's like, I got this. I am not going there. Everything is fine. I am centered. I am balanced, and she's helping you through that process of being like, in a ship. Okay. She said, when you feel like you're in a ship in deep waters and you're out at sea, and you're starting to feel a little bit like, yes, I am the captain of my ship, but the winds are really dictating, and the weather will dictate where I go. And the size of these waves is going to dictate more than anything where I go. And I know that. It's like you're in harmony. Okay. You are the captain of your own ship and you are in fluidity working with the universe. And she said, at times like that, when you feel a little bit powerless, or like you would like to have more control in life, she just wants you to know she is the water, she is the wind, she is the waves, she is the weather. She is controlling that other part more than She's also talking about pennies from heaven. So it's like you are wrapping up this cycle. So you should lean more into that energy of like something exciting is coming, or like I'm at the end of this healing journey, or like I'm ready for a brand new life, or like let's go, let's party, let's dance, let's kick it, let's like, I don't know, have a few drinks. It's like, let's, there is this sense here of you also needing to process as you go forward. It's like celebrate and make sure you're taking some days here and there, not a big chunk of time necessarily, but just here and there. I'm taking a day to process. I'm taking a day to feel. I'm taking a day to breathe. I'm taking a day to allow myself to think about where I've been. I just keep getting this like, oh God, it just feels like you've been through some shit. It feels like you've been through a lot. It's like, you ever just think about your life and like the way things have been going lately, and you're just like, oh, and it's like, you're not there anymore. So it's easier to think about, and it's easier to admit how heavy, it's been lugging this shit around. But it's like, she just wants you to periodically take some days when you feel like you need it. Maybe you're getting a little irritable or burnout, or your energy level is dropping. It's like, I need to take a day to process and just kick up your feet and stay in bed, or do whatever. Okay. And she's treating you to that. She's handling things for you. But she's also talking about pennies from heaven. And this is for you, and give love also over to Mark. I don't know if it's his birthday or a passing anniversary going on, some type of anniversary right around this time. She's giving a red rose, but also you guys have some like blessings coming in. both of you, and like money growing on trees or prosperity growing on trees, travel and opportunities growing on trees. Okay. You know what a money tree is? Or like a money plant? I feel like she's giving those to you guys as well. I forget what they're called, but they're kind of like translucent almost, or like white, like money. It's like a money plant or a money tree. Okay. Just a lot of love. She said, you've got it. You don't need any wisdom from me. Okay. You have all the wisdom you need. You are wise. Okay. Like you are the wise one now. Very proud of you. She's very proud of you, and blessings on the marriage as well. And I want to move on to another one. Thank you, Leona. All right, let's move on to Edgar. Edgar says, now that I'm taking your psychic mediumship course and Reiki training this Saturday, what messages does Spirit have for me regarding the new journeys? Hoping to use my abilities and what I learn to better assist my clients and progress in my career. Okay, so let's see what they want to say about this. Feels like the psychic mediumship course is really coming in here bold. Okay, like a bull in a china shop, like a dog on a bone, like a damn kind of energy. I mean, coming in here like pretty hardcore, determined, with determination, focus, drive, ambition. But I heard it's up to you. So this is coming from your guides and a gentleman who watches over you in a paternal way, maybe an uncle. D, like a D sound in the name. They're very proud of you for going along on these journeys, and it's important that you don't miss the details. So they'll be stepping in and letting you know in case you are going to miss it or whatever, you're getting too distracted with other things. But it's like, don't miss the detail. And the detail has a lot to do for a while, at least the next 3 weeks to, it feels like 4 months. It's going to have a lot to do with how you receive the information. So, you know, I mean, you're new in the psychic mediumship course. We're only in a few weeks, but like, I'm already saying this to you guys like a freaking tick. How did you receive it? What do you think about it? How did that come to you? How did you know that? Did you feel it? Did you think it? Did you hear it? You know, where did it come from? Like, there needs to be attention to detail, meaning how you are receiving things. And then there's also the impact it's having, okay, on like your clients, the guinea pigs, your fellow students we're working with, you know what I mean? The public. It's like this ability that you have to heal other people already, as a therapist. This ability that you have to heal people is very focused on them. Now you are taking healing up to a whole new level, and it's going to come through you. The focus, your skill level comes more through you. What channels through you is what heals them. They're irrelevant in this work. Okay. So when I say things to you guys in class, like, don't worry about them. Don't look at them. Keep them out of it. Don't talk to them. Don't ask them anything. Don't let them speak. Control your chair. Shut them down. Keep them silent until the last couple minutes. When I say things like that, it's because we're going in the opposite direction with everything than what society has us doing in every other type of work. Okay, including therapy and this and that and the other. So it's going in the other direction and understanding that the most powerful tools you can pick up on and then grow, develop, and ultimately utilize is going to be you. Okay, it's going to come through you. So yeah, where's it coming from in the universe? How's it channeling through me? How does it make me feel? How do I use it? And then, you know, and then how do they react? What happens after that? You know, but it's a lot less on them. Because like I've also been saying to you guys already, don't worry about how it lands. Don't even worry if it lands. That is not your job. Your job is to show up and channel it and to give it. It's not to be like, did they understand it? Do they appreciate it? Are they going to give a good review about it? I don't care. It doesn't matter, because Some people are ready to receive and some aren't, and a lot of it is interpretation. So don't get tied up in any of that. Don't let any of that hold you back, because that's when we start to get into blocked energy, meaning you're creating a block from ego, fear, manipulation, and control. I'm trying to control it too much. Nope. It's all about flow. No ego, no control, all flow. Okay. So out of the left brain logic into the right brain intuitive. So that comes up in this as being a big deal for the next 3 weeks to 4 months. Absolutely. And that's in both. Although I do see with the Reiki part of it, you may get some really interesting feedback from your clients. All right. So whoever you're working with, like so I have a guy coming in, you guys. And for those of you who weren't here earlier when I announced it, Reiki registration is open again for this Saturday, because I ended up with 100% online students. I've never had that, and I would like to get some in person. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. If we don't, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. I've been doing it this way for 15 years. But, if you guys want to register, so online video download, if you want to receive it after, or in person here, okay, at the Ivy League Psychic Academy, the 1882 Haunted Victorian Funeral Home, registration is reopened for Reiki this Saturday because of that. But anyways, back to Edgar. So we have a guy coming in who you guys are going to use as a guinea pig this Saturday. And I would pay attention, Edgar, to the things he says to you, because what I'm going to have you guys do after you work on him is, like, I'm going to have him give some feedback, and he'll be open to whatever questions you have. And what you should be paying attention to as a Reiki practitioner, especially your first year to a year and 3-4 months, is how people tell you what they felt and experienced while you were doing it, because that is going to show you some things about your own abilities, but the mediumship that's activating when you do Reiki, which is a big deal for you. Okay. And let's move on to another one. Thank you, Edgar. We have another question coming in here on TikTok. Why did I think this was TikTok? This is TikTok. This is Instagram. Makes some more sense. All right. So TikTok, Camilla, what do my spirit guides want me to know for the next 3 months? Okay. Spirit guides for Camilla for the next 3 months. Watch your money and put your money where your mouth is. Watch your brakes. Watch the car travel the vehicle. Investing doesn't have to literally be a car, but we'll get into that. Put your money where your mouth is. And what is this? Investing. Watch your spending. Money where your mouth is. Okay, that's enough. I mean, apparently, I don't know if you're not talking to your guides enough, but this is a lot. They shouldn't be coming at me like this and this and this and this. Like, thank God we have an opportunity to talk to her. Make sure you're sitting with your guides every morning for 10 to 15 minutes with your morning cup of coffee or tea before you do anything, and ask them, what should I be paying attention to today? What pitfalls can I avoid, if any? Okay. And how can I be of service? Watch your spending for the next 3 months. That's the first thing. The second thing is put your money where your mouth is, which suggests that you have been asking for more in life, but you're not doing the work that's required. So you're not making changes. You're not detoxing. You're not setting boundaries. You're not getting rid of people and situations. You're not cutting off old contracts that you shouldn't be investing in anymore. You're not doing all the work. You also said that you want some things like more visibility or more power, more upgrades, more expansion, more pay, this and that, more opportunity to speak, teach, lead, be seen, heard, all the things. But are you actually moving in that direction? Are you taking the actions to make it available to you? Are you moving toward it? It's like all this stuff is available to you, and it's like, I'm not moving toward it. If this were a chess game and you're like, well, I can't move, I'm one of the pieces on the chess game, I have to wait for someone to come in and move my pieces around. It's like, you don't get it. You can move in whatever direction you want. And by not understanding that and fully embracing that, it puts you on defense. How can you be on offense? How can you have goals? How can you have this future thinking and these vision boards and this manifestation, a law of attraction, and law of motion? What is emotion stays in motion? How can we tap into all that if we're passive? if we think there's something bigger above us, like a God, moving us. So from time to time, that's true, but it's certainly not in this situation. So put your money where your mouth is. There's also talk here of, what a mess. I can't even see what I wrote. Is that travel? Oh, it is travel. Vehicle and investing? Okay. Is this literal? I'm going to say that it's probably literal. Okay, so if you have had any issues with commuting, travel, vehicle, investment, okay, anything with your movement in general, you may need to put more into that in the next 3 months. Okay, so this is like maybe getting another lease or getting a different car, putting some work into the vehicle. This could be just a new mode of transportation in general. So I have you getting off a bus and moving on to something smoother like the subway, So, I mean, this could be like I was on the struggle bus symbolically. I mean, I'm assuming this is a symbol, unless, of course, you live in New York or something. But, this is like, well, I'm getting off the struggle bus and I'm going into a faster mode of transport. Things are going to be easier. This also symbolically can mean that you have been feeling stuck and that circumstances are holding you back, but now they're starting to loosen and propel you forward. Okay. And that's something that you should definitely be aware of, investing in and celebrating. What is in motion stays in motion. So keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Yeah. They have a lot to say. I would definitely be meeting with them every morning, 15 minutes with your morning cup of coffee. And that is a collective message for everyone. All right, we are going to move on to another one. What other questions do we have coming in? Nature calls you, AKA Mark said. So this is feedback from Mark and Mindy. There are not enough words to describe how many things match my mom. 100%. Just saying this for the benefit of other viewers, not because I'm surprised. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the feedback. We absolutely appreciate it. And Mindy said, wow, Ivy, Leona was really with you tonight. And you read her messages, even her clothing, the money tree and the china cabinet, etc. So well. We love her. This was profoundly helpful to me. Thank you. And she knows that you love her and she loves you guys too. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that feedback, guys. And for anyone who got a reading tonight, and you can give a little bit of a testimonial to other people watching, that is super helpful. Okay. Also, if you guys need to book a private reading, you can go on to Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. I do work internationally. And if you want to receive a message just like this, but you prefer to do it privately, you can go onto my website and you can click on Spirit Message or gift it to someone else. I do ask everyone at this time, please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment of any kind. It really does help me out in the algorithm a ton. I would love to hear where you're tuning in from. And please do share this video. All right, we are going to move on to another one. This is for Denise. I would like to hear from my son in spirit. Okay, so this is for Denise. When he comes in here, he is switching up between a couple different instruments. He is playing on what feels like an iPad or your computer or your phone, or like talking to you through technology. Then he switches into what looked to me almost like an organ or one of those, somebody help me. It's not a sitar. What is this thing? It's something, it's more common in the Middle East, or it's common in India. It's like you play it like a guitar, but it's flat. I see him playing strings like this, okay? And then I saw him like sort of on the organ, and then I see him with the guitar. So he is talking to you through music. He wants you to know. He said, I love you, Mom. 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 He said, if we say nothing more, just say it again. Like, you need to hear it. I love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. He's going to be the one who makes me lose my shit today. I always lose my shit in this show. Stop. Okay. Think about a bear. I don't know if these are collectibles. I don't know if these are like little statues or if he's, I mean, I'm sure he's not sending you a literal bear. I mean, maybe he can pull this off based on what I'm looking at through with the technology and the music. Maybe he can pull this off. I think he's sending you bears, but I thought it was like a stuffed animal, and then I thought it was like a figurine, and now I feel like I'm looking at them sometimes in your algorithm, and sometimes I feel like I'm looking at a real freaking bear. So whether this is like a brown grizzly bear or little black bears, originally they were, just know he's sending these to you, and I think it's symbolic. Because the teddy bear felt originally like it was maybe some stuffed animal or something he had that you still have of his. And you can communicate with him, okay, through any of these objects. It's called psychometry. You hold it in your left hand, your receiving hand, and then you put your right hand over the top of it and just close your eyes. You can talk to him directly through these. But I also feel like he's referring to you as being the bear. So it's funny, he's sending you bears like watching over you or staring at you, but they're symbolic of protection. You were the mama bear. You've always been the mama bear. You will always be the mama bear. You were very protective over him. You were always giving him the time he needed. You were always giving him the reassurance. He said, you always gave me the reassurance I needed. You always gave me, he's breaking my freaking heart here. You always made me feel loved. I never wondered. He just wants you to feel loved now, okay? He's in a good place. He said, I'm in a really good place, okay? I'm in a really good place. I feel like he's growing up. He's learning a lot. He's changing. He's evolving a lot. He's also snooping around your house a lot. So I feel like I'm coming out of the kitchen. I'm going down a hallway, and then it feels like a bedroom. But there's something else over here. I can't tell if this is a bathroom or a couple key rooms where he may like visit. So pay attention to ear ringing, like a tinnitus. Now, our native belief is that this increases in the bathroom because the porcelain, earth, water, and mirrors are all conductors of communication with the other side. So it's like you get a weird ringing in your ears, and then he could put a song in your head or thoughts in your head. So watch for him there. But I feel like he's with you in the kitchen, this hallway, these two rooms, visiting you in your dreams as well. Okay, he is also giving you a red rose, which is a birthday or anniversary right around this time. This can also be a passing anniversary or just a deep love. He's giving you peace stuff as well. He wants you to have peace. Okay, peace of mind, peace in your heart, peace surrounding his passing, like just knowing everything is exactly as it's meant to be right now. Okay. He said thank you because you've been an incredible mom. You continue to be an incredible mom, All right, we're going to move on to another one. Thank you. Moving on. Are we frozen? Oh shit. Are we, okay. I'm gonna have to run to the restroom real quick. I have to take a bathroom break. Sorry guys, I'm drinking like a ton of tea, and then I started this clove thing. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but like everyone, it was like on my feed that if you put 6 cloves in hot water, it's some type of like immune boost. And so like I had clove water today. I just drank like all these things before I came on here. So I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. CJG is next. I've been down in the dumps during this retrograde. Join the club. What fresh hell has this been? Can you please give me a message from my dad, Ig, to lift me up, or IGG. Okay, so from dad for CJG. He said it's not the retrograde. Then what is it? It's everything you've had to review. So it is the retrograde. That's what a retrograde is. Okay. So he says it's not the retrograde. It's everything you've had to review. It's everything you have had to look at to see if you're going to like renew it or what you have to detox from. It's like a reminder of all the heaviness, all the things that you've been going through, disappointments, grief, loss, what you're transmuting, what you haven't alchemized yet. It's a tall list. Dad said it's a tall order. The best thing for you to do is to step away and get out and shake it up a little bit. Have some fun. He said, when was the last time you went out and like just did some dancing? When was the last time you went out and, I don't know, like went to a concert or you went to like a bar where you could just kind of be around some loud music and just numb out a little bit and just, you know what I mean? Have a dance, have a giggle with your girlfriends or something. It's like, when was the last time you just kind of went out? It feels too like maybe you want to be alone a lot lately. And so you're like, well, I don't really even have anyone I want to go hang out with like that. Or like I would, but then it always turns into something more. I feel excessively obligated. The night lasts too long, you know, then I have to listen to their spiel. I don't know. It's not that you want to be selfish per se, but you know, he's saying like, go out on your own. If you don't want to go out with some other people, like go out on your own. Okay. Like romanticize solo living. Something extravagant. He said, when was the last time you did something extravagant for yourself? And I'm not talking about like buying the handbag, unless you have been looking at like Louis Vuitton or like I don't know, maybe you are looking at an expensive handbag. Maybe. All right. Maybe. But it's more like something bigger than that. He said, when was the last time you did something extravagant for yourself? He said he's footing the bill. So this could be like a little bit of travel. This could be a trip. This could be a 2 or 3 day trip. I mean, this doesn't have to be like something massive. You know, this could just be something that you don't normally do and you're taking a couple days to splurge on a little adventure. Yeah, like a little getaway. It almost feels like, I mean, I do this. It's like I'll just go stay at like, you know, a hotel or some weird haunted place or like an Airbnb, or I'll just go do some weird shit, like not too far out of town because I can't be gone a long time, you know, but it's almost like a staycation, you know, but cooler. I think that you need to shake things up. That's what I think you need to do. Okay. He said, just shake it up a little bit and treat yourself. You also seem to be letting things pile on and taking them too seriously. He said, you're too in your head, like get out of your mind, get out of your head. You're taking things too seriously because actual stuff in your life is going really well. Like everything's moving in the right direction. He said, so don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if it ain't raining, if it ain't raining on your head, don't act like there's a hole in the roof or something. It's like you got a roof over your head. You got food on the table. You're cute as a button. People like you. Everybody wants to be around you. Your future is bright. You've just accomplished a whole bunch of things. You're done working. You're ready to receive all these blessings. Like, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. So try to see it that way a little bit more because you're paying attention to stressful details and they don't even last. Okay. They won't last. He said, none of this will last. None of this will last. Something too about somebody bothering you about money or an investment or something burdening you and making you feel like it's pushing at you or it's looming or it's like, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about this? He said he's going to be helping you. Okay, so anything resource related that is stressing you out, he's going to be helping you with that. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. Okay, so be listening for him for the next like 2 weeks, ballpark. He loves you very much. I also see you making some tea, but it has like rose petals and stuff in it and leaves and like flowers, different maybe purple flowers or something. It almost looks like one of these tea blends that you put right in the cup. Like a fancy tea you have to steep or something. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's almost like in a glass. You know, most people drink their tea from a mug. It's like in a glass. And he says, sit down and have some tea with me. Okay, so maybe you go out too and you treat yourself to like some new teas and you start like a ceremonial thing for yourself and you buy new glassware for it. Okay, he's just making a suggestion. Something about your mother as well. Love to your mother. Love to your mother. Okay. That was weird timing. Did you guys catch that? Like I put this down and some weird spooky ghosty shit because there are a million spirits in here right now. Happened. Did you guys hear that? You can't make that out. I have to run to the restroom. So everybody just bear with me. Give me a minute here. I'll be right back. I've been doing this whole show without the heater on. Like, why is it so cold in here? Because I turned it off. The heating bill was like $1,000, and then for the month, and then thank God the weather just turned and we've had like nothing but rain and it's been relatively warm, but tonight it's cold. So I turned that thing off days ago. All right, let's move on. Who do we have next? Nature Calls You, aka Mark, said thank you to Diana also for all your hard work helping to make this happen. Can we all give Diana a hand? She is in Dubai. She is dealing with a lot, to say the least. She has been absolutely amazing. And she's the one who's like taking all your questions and comments and pairing up your payments and always going back to get whatever other information she needs. Thank you, Diana. We love you. Also, we have started putting timestamps. So for those of you who like to pre-order your readings for these shows, make sure that when you drop your payment, you always say which show it's for. And know that you don't have to tune in, because Diana and Kim, they create a timestamp list after the show is done. And then that's up there in the comment section. And then the video is usually published on YouTube, sometimes immediately, sometimes within 24 hours. So you go onto YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium, you see your timestamp, go right back and watch. Okay, so if you ever can't be here, I love having you here. But if you got to go, you got to go. Okay, so you can watch it later. And thank you, Diana, for that as well. All right, we're going to move on to another one. What else do we have coming in here? Okay, we are at last call. So I guess I could have maybe waited to go to the restroom, whatever. So we are on last call. That means drop your $10 donation now and whatever question you have. This is my All Spirit Messages show. So you can ask to hear from a deceased loved one, specifically a deceased pet, your angels, guides, ancestors, anything goes. You guys voted this in for the 2026 show lineup, and it's been a huge hit. You guys have been giving this show a great response, because I think there's not a lot of people out there doing this. I think there's a lot of misconception on mediumship too. There are a lot of tarot readers out there, but this is really kind of a totally different ball game, so I'm always open. If you guys ever have any questions on how this works, feel free to ask. You don't have to drop a $10 donation for that. I'm happy to answer questions about what mediumship is. If you are interested, we just had another student sign up last night. I'm teaching one psychic mediumship course in 2026. We are 6 weeks in, so you still have time to catch up if you want to. We still have people joining. You may want to check that out to learn how to do these readings, because this is not a gift. This is an innate ability that everyone has. So you may want to reach out. Let me know if you want to get in on the psychic mediumship course. Also, just a reminder, and then I'm going to get on to these other readings here, that Reiki registration is reopened. Okay, I'm hoping to get some in-person students, but you could also do online or video. I have all my students right now for Reiki on Saturday are online, so that's fine. But registration is open, okay, again, for Reiki. And let's move on to Nicole. General reading for Nicole. Nicole, general reading. What spirits have something to say to Nicole? Okay. You seem to not be as fast as you need to be in regards to cutting someone off verbally. So there is talk of have your brakes checked on your car. And this is coming from your guides, okay? So your guides are talking about have your brakes checked on your car. Now that can also mean have your brakes checked on your car. But symbolically, in your case, this is about you saying you're going to put on the brakes, saying you're going to stop, saying you're going to put an end to movement in some relationship or dynamic. And then it's like, I'm pressing on the brakes, but the brakes aren't really working, or I didn't know the brakes were shot, And you should have known, because it's your car. They're your brakes. You would have noticed that you weren't setting proper boundaries with this person in the past, that you were like feeding the problem, for example. You would have noticed. When our brakes go on a vehicle, they don't just go once. This is a slow process. And what seems to be happening here is that someone from your past is coming back around. I think they're still around. I think they've been around, okay? But you've known them a while. So someone from your past is coming in here, feels like male energy, is talking at you, is feeding you a line of bullshit, is telling you how things are and trying to paint a picture, a scene about the way life is or the nature of the relationship with you or their intentions. And you're feeling very much like, I know for a fact that isn't true. And for whatever reasons in the past, you chose to overlook it, hold space, collect red flags, set a boundary, but then waver on it. For whatever reasons, we need to leave those reasons in the past. And we need to understand that you are not negotiating your worth anymore. As you go forward, there is a huge call on your price increasing, adding tax, being less accessible to people in situations that are essentially wasting your time, willingly, knowingly, purposefully. You're done. Okay. So you're entering into a period of time where you can reap very large benefits from putting the brakes on situations, kicking people out of your life, out of your car, cutting cords, right? Going no contact, closing the door, just not letting them in really to have any access whatsoever. None of your energy, none of your attention whatsoever, because that is what's called for here. We've done enough with the games. And because of that, you can access these bigger benefits in the future. You asked for, you manifested, your guides are saying, a higher level position for yourself, more authority in the world, more recognition coming off. You wanted to be a leader. You wanted to be a speaker. You wanted to be seen. You wanted to be heard. You can't go out there and talk the talk without walking the walk. And it was almost like your soul was maturing. Your higher mind was telling you how to get in alignment with it. But your habits that were immature and were tangled up with immature situations and people, that was holding you back. It was overriding any of this progress. And now it's almost like you are coming into, I heard accordance or completion. Okay. With your higher mind, with the universe, you're being authentic. You're in alignment with your life contract. So you're doing what you're supposed to be doing at this time. Okay. You are ready to be this mature individual, and you're ready to sustain it. You're ready to hold it, hold steady, because it will get tested. But this is one of the last tests from the old world. All these other ones will be brand new stuff, because this was one of your oldest habits. This was one of your oldest addictions, was toying around, okay, with people like this, who, I don't know if you just like to argue too, because it's like this person's telling you so much bullshit and you're like, da, 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 da. You know, I don't know, maybe it's foreplay, but like, it's not anymore. I mean, it's dried up. Okay, not good. So just make sure you're being the person you need to be in order to receive all these benefits that you have been manifesting. You can be seen, you can be heard, but you need to show up as like a queen, not a silly princess. Okay. Let's see if we have any more coming in. Or are we at time? Okay, next one up is Mackenzie Mooser. Mackenzie Mooser. General message for the rest of the month. Things are getting a little rough right now. Okay, and you're welcome, Mackenzie. Okay, general message for the rest of the month for Mackenzie. Does anyone have anything to say to her about this? You know, I feel like some of what's going on with you is Mercury in retrograde. So that doesn't mean it's not important or, you know, take it lightly or dismiss it, but it is a little bit circumstantial. It is reserved to a chaotic period of time. Mercury in retrograde ends March 20th. Thank God. Okay, it ends March 20th. Now, we've been in hell because you have 2 weeks of shadow leading up to the actual retrograde. Okay, then you've got the retrograde itself, which we are now in, and then we have 2 weeks of shadow after the retrograde. So be realistic about it. But what's happening with you right now is you've got a lot of stuff up for review. Now, Mercury in retrograde hits you hard in this case. Not necessarily because you're like a Virgo or a Gemini, okay, because that's our ruling planet, but because retrogrades are designed to help you reinvent, rediscover, renegotiate, renew. Ezzy agrees. Finally, she's here. I thought she would have been up here all night getting her grill up in the camera. Hi, Mama. So you have been living in such a manner the last few years where you have made some choices that have really been holding you back. And you are still in that energy, meaning that even if you started making better decisions in recent weeks and months, you're not out of that energy yet. You're still going to be in that energy for a while. Okay. And so a Mercury in retrograde is going to hit you particularly hard, in particular in love. So Mercury in retrogrades are a time to look back at past lovers that we have contracts with, or unfinished business with, or you feel you have unfinished business with. And so that's also like, can we add any more shit to this pile? Okay. We are also having to deal with that. So it's emotional, it's mental, it's financial for you, you know, it's internal, it's all kinds of things. And I think you need to just like put your helmet on, embrace yourself for impact, and be like, okay, look, it ends on the 20th. As we approach the 20th, it will get lighter and easier. But it's always going to be difficult if you don't do what you need to do during a Mercury in retrograde, which is process, get the answers. What am I renewing? What am I reviewing? What does need to officially be cut off? What is trying to come back in? Who is trying to come back in? And do I really want to go back to that or no? You know, how do I want to say this to you? It's almost like a test on your growth. It's like you've been saying to the universe the last couple months, I'm growing. I'm ready to grow. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And then a Mercury in retrograde comes in and it's like all these tests and it's like, really, but are you strong enough to stand your ground? Can you hold the line? You know, so just make sure you do. Just make sure you do. Take it one day at a time. And as soon as you do, you know, that test leaves. You're not going to get bombarded the entire time. Okay. So there may be something you're trying to avoid. And it's like, you can't. Okay. Deal with it, handle it mentally. And it will start to dissipate. All right. Thank you, Mackenzie. We're going to move on to, do we have any more coming in? Ezzy has been outside lately. She's gone out every night. That's probably what she wants right now. Edgar says, what messages does Spirit have for me regarding May 2026? I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Edgar, May 2026. Can you guys hear this couch squeaking? Is this like only me? May 2026. What do you guys want to say about May 2026? I just heard dot your I's, cross your T's, put a cap on it. So I don't know if you're planning on doing something that could potentially cost you a lot of money or could be a drain on your resources. It almost feels like some type of a maybe a trip or an excursion, or it's like, I'm going to invest in all this new stuff. And it's like, that's great. Let's do that. but let's also do it within balance. Let's have a budget, or let's have a spending limit, or let's, think about how we want to do this, because this could also just be like your energy. You know what I mean? It just feels like partying. It feels like exploding. It feels like coming out of the old and into the new. It feels like movement. And I think all of that is great. I also think, again, we want to do it within reason so that we are really enjoying what we have. It reminds me of, I had a cousin who would just gobble his food down, and I couldn't watch him eat. He made me sick. He would just never taste anything, and he's super overweight and never. And he did it with everything in life. You know a lot about a person by the way they eat, and the way they drive their car. It's like he would just consume, and he's still like that in his 50s. It's just, it's like, do you ever just stop and enjoy? Do you ever just taste your food? Do you ever just be mindful about every bite? When women are pregnant, it's the only time we ever really hear much about our health, is when it's for the baby. But, we're told, enjoy every bite, be mindful. Every bite counts. Pay attention to the texture of your food. This, that, the other. It teaches us a lot about mindfulness, and connecting to experiences in life that initiate all the senses, that get you to invest in all the senses simultaneously. That's what May is for you, right? It's like a big crazy orgasm. And I'm going deaf in the left. So hold on a minute here. It's like your mediumship is increasing too. Your mediumship is increasing in May. So I don't know if in May you want to launch more with the readings that you give the public, or you're using more mediumship in work. You also seem to be moving up at your normal job around that time. So it's like I'm elevating in therapy. I am also doing more with mediumship. Mediumship is constantly activated for me. So you may be giving out more messages. That's a better way to say that. Make sure you are making yourself available to give messages through mediumship to the public in May, because and I don't know when the psychic mediumship course ends, but I know you're in there. But it's like a lot of people, they graduate or whatever, they haven't graduated yet, or they're like, well, I will. And it's like, when it's this active, you really can't just be doing a reading here and there a couple times a month. Make sure you are available for the public to find you. Show up, be of service, because if it's channeling through you, it's really going to need to come out in May. Okay, so that's another level up. Very interesting. Lots of good stuff going on, but enjoy every minute. And I would even say that what Spirit's referencing about enjoying every bite, enjoying every aspect, all the senses, it starts now. It's not in May. It's now. It's already enjoying. Okay. Congratulations. Good luck. We have another one coming in here. Janet Gomez, a general message for Janet. Janet, who's coming through for Janet? Female. Pearl earrings, pearl necklace, handed down in the family. We've got a grandmother. We've got maternal energy. A couple ladies coming through. One smoked, had a cancerous condition. Beautiful hands. They have beautiful hands. They have healing hands. She had beautiful healing hands. May have done her nails, but even when her nails were just natural, she had beautiful hands. People who heal tend to have beautiful hands. She was a natural healer. She was a level 4 empath. You got it from her. Again, maternal energy with her. Brown hair, but mousy brown, when she was younger, maybe packed on a little weight, but was always just kind of cute. Just got a round face. I feel like you look like her, and that you guys are both very beautiful in the same way. Bright eyes, childlike, almost childlike features, a beautiful smile, kind of round around the cheeks, rosy cheeks, clear, real clear skin. Some people just look young forever. And I feel like when I go over here with these ladies, they're talking about pouring a glass of wine for you, and something about eating a bowl of ice cream. And I don't know if these are oatmeal raisin cookies. I don't know if you were disappointed. Let's say let's say grandma would make cookies. You'd be like, oh my God, and then you're like, this isn't chocolate chip. What's this crap? It's like what's these nuts and oats and raisins and fruit in here, and it's like, well, as you get older, you like stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe she kind of had a way of cooking, for the adults, and the kids were just, you get what you get, you know what I mean? But I think she cooked a lot of really good things. But I do think that you're coming into a place of maturity. It's like you're coming into a place in your life where you don't want the chocolate chip cookie anymore. You want the oatmeal raisin cookie. You want to have more quiet days, longer mornings, peaceful walks. You don't need a ton of friends. You just need to have some good conversation with certain people from time to time. You want more intellectual stimulation and less like cha-cha. You want, you don't care about other people's lives anymore. You want less drama. You don't want your head filled, right? All the thoughts I could have throughout the day, I don't want it filled with other people's junk, or stuff in the world. Like, I want more harmony. I want to feel better. I want to look better. So I don't know if you're doing something with like, also like your hair and your weight, or like I'm working out more, or whatever, your physique. It feels like I want to look better. I want to, it feels like thicker hair. It feels like I want to, let's put it this way. You can't look that way unless you're doing it on the inside. When you do the inner work, it glows, right? The glow comes from inward to outward, not the reverse. They're proud of you because it's like you're doing the work. This idea here of them pouring you a glass of wine, it almost feels like a weird vase. I don't know what this is called, but it's like a tall glass that you would maybe drink champagne or something out of, but it goes out. Somebody let me know in the comments, what is this? It goes out. Anyways, this is red wine. This is symbolic, whether you drink or not. I mean, this is Take It Out resonates, but it's symbolic of money, prosperity, celebration, your harvest coming in. Okay. And I feel too, like if you've been lonely, you're going to be feeling like you're in better company. And I'm not just talking about like spirits, I'm talking about you feeling as though, because you are radiating out a higher vibrational, more positive energy, that you are attracting more high vibrational positive people, quite literally. Okay. As he agrees. Okay. Just know how much they love you. The one giving a red rose also, which is a birthday or anniversary right around this time. This can also be passing anniversary or just a deep love. Take It Out resonates. And I was thinking that was more with the mom energy, but in case I mixed them, Take It Out resonates. Okay. A lot of love to you. Yes. I love you. Come on up here. Say hi to everybody. Do we have any more coming in? We have another one here for Demetrius. Demetrius. Hey, when I get really tired and sleepy, my telepathy gets really strong and I can literally hear full-on conversations in my head. What causes this? Okay, so when we are relaxed, whether it be driving in the car, walking, when we are in like motion, I call it motion meditation, when we are dozing off and waking up, when the veil is lifted between the worlds, and then 3 to 5:30 in the morning. And then we call it the ultradian cycle. It actually happens every hour and a half and it holds for 20 minutes where we tap into more of the right side of our brain. So it happens naturally. And then you can also sort of make it happen. But essentially when our guard is down and we relax, we start to hear and see things that were there the whole time that we had been putting an extra effort to tune out. Okay, because if we're hearing spirits all the time, if we're hearing conversations, if we're hearing music playing, if we're hearing people speaking in foreign tongues and we're alone in a room, right? Or we're trying to do our work, or we're studying for our exam or whatever, it's going to feel like we're going crazy. It's going to feel like a schizophrenic episode. So, we want to control that because society has said it's bad to pay attention to those things. Those things do mean, that you have psychosis or whatever. So, but it isn't. It's always there. And we weren't supposed to ever tune it out. This is where in the psychic mediumship course, I'm always telling my students from the very first week, I'm here to help you unblock. So all the things society taught you to do in regards to these sights and sounds and smells, right? It's shove it down, turn it off, block it. It's bad, don't give it any mind. And when we starve something in life, it fades away. And whatever we feed, we get more of, right? So when you're relaxed, your higher mind automatically, your human nature, because you're here on earth to have a spiritual experience, you automatically are feeding it. So when you're in motion, when you're relaxed, et cetera, et cetera. And so not only was it always there and you were blocking it out, but also now you're feeding it even more. Okay. So you can definitely at night, notice, but in particular when you're dozing off or waking up, come on up here. Yeah, you will notice that you can hear conversations, music, all kinds of things that were there. You could see, like when I wake up, I see people in my room sitting on my bed. These are people I was in dreams with doing astral travel, working on stuff. And then I'll see them turn into orbs and like shoot up into the corners. I'll wake up sometimes and everyone who was in my dream is like there in my room still talking to each other, like not paying any attention to me, but they're doing work together. And so like, this is just normal. This is what is going on. This is like time travel also, because I believe we're going backward, forward, and then we're in other dimensions. So like all sort of simultaneously. So sometimes, these conversations are coming from spirits. Sometimes they're coming from you working with other people who are living, even, but telepathically. Sometimes you're just hearing stuff that's going on around you. And it really doesn't have a lot to do with you, but you're able, because you're not blocking anymore, to hear it. So there's a lot. But don't forget, at night, we work a lot. Okay, so we're working with other people we have karma with. We're working in other dimensions. We're working for guides or with angels and on and on and on. Like there's a lot of work that goes on at night. And there are a lot of conversations that happen in the sleep state. So it's a productive time. It's supposed to be restful time, but it tends to be productive time. And so you're just hearing it. All right, very interesting. And for those of you who are level 3-4 empaths who are like, I think I have that when I'm awake. Yeah, you probably do, because you're a telepath. So some of us hear conversations literally all the time. I'll be brushing my teeth and I'll hear a conversation and I'm like, he's going to say this to her and then she's going to say this to him. And it's totally useless information. I know this, but it's still happening. And then I go to the coffee shop, later that afternoon, and it's the table right next to me. He says this to her. She says that to him. I know what this guy's going to come in and say, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, why do we know this stuff? Right? This is where we need to shut it off sometimes. It's like, what is it important? It's not always important, but it's interesting. Nicole Whitehead says, Demetrius, great question. I experienced this and it's freaky. Yeah. So we have a couple different things going on with that. I just want to tell you guys. So we have telepathy. If you are a level 3-4 empath, check out my empathic awareness class, right? Level 3-4, you develop telepathy. So you're hearing other people's thoughts. Then we have clair empathy, which is picking up on other people's emotions, which can also often feel like thoughts, like you're experiencing other people. And then we have clairaudience, which is the ability to hear spirit in our head as though it is our own inner voice. If a spirit is saying something, and with clairaudience, it's kind of like everything. We can hear all the spirits talking. So maybe they're not even talking to you, but you can hear them too. It's freaking ridiculous. It's a lot. It's intriguing. But, you got to know how to shut it off. It's like, okay, I'm done. I'm me right now. I want my space. This is about setting boundaries and keeping personal space. You're welcome, Demetrius. Thanks for that question. Super fun. All right. Do we have any more coming in? Just a reminder to everyone who wants to do this privately or to gift this to someone else. You can go onto my website, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com, and click on Spirit Message. or I work internationally. So you can book a reading for yourself anytime. You can also book a party or a psychic fair. I am entering into my in-season soon. So this is going to be absolutely nuts this year. Everything's already rolling. I work in entertainment. So if you ever want to book me for a gallery show and or, private reads with whatever, we can also bring in, like I said, psychic fairs. Now our psychic fairs are Ivy League Psychic Academy certified readers. So tons going on. You could check that out. Please get registered for Reiki. Again, I reopened registration because I would like some in-person students, but you could also do online, or if you just want to get the video, it is Saturday. I will see you guys back here though for, when are we back, Diana? Is it Friday? I think we're back Friday. Okay. So I will see you guys back here on Friday for Coffee with Your Angels show, which you guys voted in for the 2026 show lineup. Thank you so much for the support. I deliver during that show whatever healing message you need to hear at this time. It is going to be unlimited, so you can get your early questions in now. Remember, you don't have to tune in because we do timestamps. You can always go back and watch the publication if you need to. You are allowed with that show. I've decided to do it this way. So you can ask about an area of your life where you need healing, or you can just leave it open-ended and receive from the angels whatever healing message they have for you at this time. Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you to all the spirits who came through as always. And thank you guys for tuning in. Love ya. I will see you on Friday.